Last week I have talked about every single book I have finished in April, and now it is time to finally work on my May cover page in my reading journal. And I have been so excited about working on this cover page since the day I got this beautiful sticker by Marigo Nasuli. I got this in her latest shop update. This to me screams May. And what better journal to use this in than in my reading journal, since this fairy is reading books. And I don't know about you guys, but every time I think about May, I think about color pink. So this sticker is more than perfect for this setup. Anyway, this sticker is quite detailed, so I am not going to add that much on the page. Well, at least I am not planning to, but you guys know me. Every time I say I don't want to add more, I add more. So we will see how this will turn out. And you know what? Let's already start. There is not much more that needs to be said. I will put this girl somewhere here because I do have my calendar already marked in here. So this is a space we are working with currently. This sticker fills it up pretty nicely. What I want to make is some kind of simple background. I'm going to use these cards for that. And these are just like simple cards with different backgrounds and with different text styles. I got this from Journal Say. These are perfect to add in a background. So let's see. Okay, maybe even this yellow one. I really like the font that is in here. And maybe this one because of the color. This is slightly pink. I don't really like these big letters in here, but I think we can hide them behind this sticker. So let's see how this would work. Okay, something like that, but maybe let's flip those papers around. Okay, yeah, I kind of like this better. I don't know why. Maybe because there is a lot of this light cream color on this side already, and this paper looks quite similar to that. So there was too much of this color on this side. But when I put this paper in there, it brings a bit of contrast, which I like. Okay, this might be even better, just to have no distractions of this first different line. But I don't know, this kind of makes sense. It might look like this is what she is reading. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. I kind of even like these being the harsh lines there, because this sticker is kind of cute. There are not that many straight lines in this illustration. Even the books are very sweet and rounded. So this brings a bit of contrast. I don't know. Like, I'm fighting with one paper. Oh my god. Okay, what do you think? I think... No, I find this kind of distracting. I think I have had papers that were slightly green. This is another one of these. I'm curious to see if there is something green that could be used. Okay, this is quite dark. This, no. Oh, there is something green. No, you know what? I kind of, after seeing all of this, I kind of like this one more. So let's go with that. And I've also found this beautiful reed. So maybe we could have it somewhere. Okay, that's lovely. But now I kind of don't know what to think about these papers in there. So maybe this could go behind. No, I don't like that. Maybe just behind one of them, like this. Okay, that's kind of better, but let's try this paper. So, I don't know, it kind of matches with this green. Okay, you know what? I don't hate this. So, that's progress. Also, I have the May title in here. It could go just like this. I don't want the title to be too visible, but also I want to know which month this is once I look at this page. Okay, this is cute, but I think when I add this green in here, it's a bit more elevated. I don't know. I'm going to cut around this frame. And let's see now. Okay, you know what? Let's just do this. It kind of looks like a moon or something. Okay, so paper. Oh, I wanted to add it this way. Okay, so paper number 1. Oh wait, should I put this one in first? Circle. Now the frame. I so wish this was a sticker, but it is not. I will make it work. And now this second paper like this. Okay, and now the girl. Oh yeah, perfect. I have lost my May title somewhere. Found it. Here it is, thank God. I did not really want to go and print another one, so I'm glad I found it. Okay, now the girl sticker. I'm not going to unpeel this all the way through. I'm going to unpeel just a small section, and I'm going to position this sticker first. That's fine. Now I will stick this, and now unpeel the rest. I have seen this, I'm not sure where, maybe in Jessie Corin's video or something like that, and I found that intriguing and kind of smart, and it seems it works, so I'm happy with that. And I also use this technique for when I am applying big sticker papers on my pages. I will do that later in the video. And yeah, it is pretty handy and it makes the work so much easier and quicker. I kind of want to hide a bit of this edge, and I think this is perfect. Let's apply a glue on that as well. Okay, that was a bit too much glue. Okay, perfect. I have looked through my stationery again to find if there is something else I could add, because like this is cute, but I think we need something small around this collage, and the only thing I could find are these butterflies. Of course, I'm not going to use all of them. Oh, that's cute, but few here and there could look lovely. I loved that one in here, so let's have that there. Oh yeah, this one in here. There is this awkward blank section next to the calendar, and I don't really know what to put in there, so just having this butterfly in there, it makes it so much better. Oh, there are some moons. I have not noticed that before. And gold roses. Oh my god, I have not noticed those there either. That's so fun. I'll just put that here because why not? Also, let's have moon in there. Oh, there is a planet. Look at that. Okay, we will have to use this planet somewhere. Maybe on this side, I don't know yet, but that will be used. And maybe one more butterfly. These are big. These are also big. I can't decide whether I want the other one be here or here. This way, all the butterflies will be in there. Well, it kind of makes sense to have butterflies on the top side of the page. I don't know, let's just put him there. I love that. Let's see this planet there. There is a star. Let's have a star in here. And this gemstone in here. And let's try how these gold / hollow stickers look. Where could I put them? Maybe on the edge of this paper. Okay, that could look nice. And let's do this flower here, just to have something more going on around in this part of the page. Let's put this in there. I guess I should stop because this is getting pretty full, but I really like how this turned out. Okay, now I'll need to sketch the calendar in, and just as I did with my previous setups, I'm going to do this interrupted line, so it is not one harsh line across the whole calendar. I think it makes it look a bit softer, and I think that works well with this collage. So yeah, I'm going to do exactly that. I made this calendar slightly too big maybe too big for the amount of books I'm going to have in here, but I don't know, maybe I just wanted to fill this page a bit better, and I did not really want to have lots of decorations all around. So I decided to just make the calendar big. Okay, I went a bit too far there, but that's fine, I guess. Let's just make this line first, so next time I won't go too far. Okay, that's done, and I think it looks really lovely. I have not found any pink numbers in my collection. I found this green. This is the closest I can get to these colors. So we will use that, because why not? I need to use what I have. And these numbers are beautiful. So let's add all of them in there. And I'm kind of thinking that on this section of the page, maybe we could have something green, something like this down there, just to make it kind of more balanced. We'll see. But first, I need to add all these numbers in. This will also bring a lot of green to this spread. So I'm curious to see how that will look after I'm finished. 28, 29, 30 and 31. I always get confused when there is not enough numbers in there, but 31s are always down there. Well, this looks lovely. Yeah, I really like this. Now I am going to decorate this section. I have found these papers. This is very close to the colors of this fairy dress. Maybe just something simple like this. This will be filled with book covers, so I don't really mind this being simpler. But let me look through my stationery again. Yeah, I found this rose. So I don't know, maybe. Oh, that's lovely. It looks nothing similar to this, but I don't know, I kind of like this. Oh, that's lovely. Maybe I could add butterfly in there. Yeah. Also, I have this Books Read title, so that could go here, or maybe I don't need to use that anywhere. I also have slightly bigger one, so if I did cut it into 2 words, it might look even better. Oh, that's lovely. Yes, I like that. I like that. And now I don't think I need a butterfly in there, because I don't think that's working anymore, but this is working. So I'll do that. I don't really like that there is writing only on the bottom section of this spread, but it is not bothering me that much to make this look any other way, because I really love this. I've bought these circle papers so many months ago, and I've always found them a bit difficult to use, but I'm so happy I remembered I have them, because this looks great. And I should use them more often, because they are perfect. And this sticker, I have had this for like a million years, so I don't think I can give you a link to this one, because I have no idea where I got this sticker from, but everything else in this video, it will be linked in the description if it is still available. So yeah, if you are curious about something, just head down in the description. And this is taking forever. Okay, yeah, okay, that's lovely. And now the Books Read title. I could have maybe do a bit more detailed cutting of these words, but I don't really mind. Let's just say these have character. Books Read. Perfect. This is making me very happy. These are the books I have already read, so let's add them in here. There are 3 more books I'm currently reading, and I have no idea how that will go. So I don't know, I kind of like this being in here, and if I read more books, I can have them there. So yeah, there will still be space for at least 3 more, maybe even 4 more books. Yeah, I like that, so let's do that. And if I did not end up reading anything else, I don't really mind this being blank. Let's just simply add these book covers in there. Okay, maybe even lower. Yeah, I just want to make sure there is enough space for more book covers if I want to add them later. Because I am putting all the books in here, those that I am reading, even those that are not finished yet. So there will be more. I'm sure there will be more by the end of this month. But for now, I am just going to add here books that are already finished. Most of these were a success. One of these books I did not care for at all, but I'm not going to tell you now which one that was. You can take a guess. I would be curious to see if any of you would guess that. But yeah, that's it for these covers. And maybe I can start filling in the calendar as well. I have 4 markers in here. These are Mr. Pen highlighters. I have got these on Amazon, I guess, because these were the only highlighters I could find that were not neon in color. I keep forgetting I have them, and now it is finally time, because I have realized these have very similar colors to what I have going on in here already, and I like to match my calendar to all the other decoration. I should stop just babbling because I don't even know what I want to say. Anyway, the calendar. Let's start with Handle with Care. I have started that in April and I finished that on May 4th. So that's Handle with Care. Next is Japanese Gothic, and that I have read from 4th of May to 9th of May. I just love when I can make just one line across 1 week. I don't know, for some reason it looks so good to me. Japanese Gothic. And one more time. Okay, Silent Patient. I have somehow finished that in 2 days. And I don't know how. Well, I was cleaning out my closet, so maybe that's why I have spent like 6 hours on that. So that really helped. And the last one is My Brilliant Friend. Oh, and we have another 1 week long read. I just love that. And yes, as you can see, I have read much less than I usually do, because usually my calendar is much more filled out. Let me show you. You see this? I am reading multiple books every single day. Not in May, but that's fine. Like, this is not a competition. Even in here, I have read multiples. But you know what? I'm still surprised that I have finished 4 books, because to me it seems like I am not reading at all, and suddenly 4 books are done. But I am aiming to finish at least 2 more books, hopefully 3. So we will see how that will go. Anyway, this is my May reading journal cover page done, and I love this. Maybe now I'm having second thoughts about this paper in here, but you know what? It's fine. There is nothing wrong about this. And we are not done with this journal yet, because May is a month of Goober Readathon, which I am taking part in. I am sure that I will not get many points in this challenge, but I'm joining this just for fun. So, Goober Readathon, okay, let me find my papers. Goober Readathon is hosted by Jessie Corinne and her 2 friends, Monica and Rachel. Last year I have joined for the first time and it was lots of fun. So this year I'm excited to join in again. These are all the prompts. I'm not going to fulfill all of these. Maybe I will fulfill like 3 or 4, but that's fine. There are also some prompts that do not have anything to do with reading, and these might be my saviors by the end of this month, because this way I can earn a bit more points. And yeah, I did not say anything about this challenge yet. So this is of course a reading challenge. And we have Ghosty Goober, who is this year, there is this long year reading challenge going on, and the Ghosty Goober is trying to learn to bake and open his bakery. And in May, he is being extra productive, I would say, and he is studying a lot, and we are helping him fulfill all of these prompts. I have probably done a terrible job at explaining this, but there will be a link to the announcement video down in the description. You can always join. You can join on the last day of May and figure out which of these prompts you have fulfilled, or you can make your TBR based on all of these prompts. It is up to you. You can do whatever you want. This is just a way to make reading more fun. Anyway, this, you have probably noticed there are some arrows and profile picture and stuff like that. Well, I have tried so many different printouts of this exact prompt list, and I could not find anything that would work with my page. The first one I have printed on the A4 page, and it was a bit more tall, so I was not able to fit everything in. Then I printed A5 version, and that was just so tiny. So then I went on Jessie Corinne's Instagram, and I found this in her stories, and look at that, it fits perfectly, which I am so thankful for, because I have spent so long trying to figure out how to make this work, and nothing was working, nothing was right. I'm happy I have remembered there are these graphics on the Instagram as well. And this is not going to be like anything special or thought through. I'm just going to add this on the page, and when I fulfill any of these prompts, I will highlight them or something like that. One more thing that is in here is the host TBRs. This is also from Instagram, and I thought I would include this somehow on the page, but all of these covers are so small, and I could not find a way to use this nicely on the page. So I'm just going to redo that. I have the book covers printed in here. I'm going to add them on this page manually, but this I will have on the side as a cheat sheet. So every one of those hosts, Rachel, Monica and Jess, they all gave us 5 books that they are going to try and read during May. And in here we have prompts regarding these selections. So you need to read, or you can read, 1 book from each of these lists to get 2 points. Out of the books that are somewhat interesting to me, I have read most of those already, but there is Japanese Gothic in Monica's TBR, so that's one thing I have already fulfilled. But anyway, let's not get ahead of myself. I should finally build this page. Can you tell I'm kind of scared to work on this? I just have no clear idea about what I'm going to do, and I'm just like doing whatever. Okay, maybe I could kind of continue this line. I don't know what I will do with this section. Maybe nothing. Maybe I will just leave it like that. Okay, let's try this. I will have this line in there, and I am going to use this letter PET tape. When I have discovered this, I was so excited that I have bought this right away, and I have never found a way to use this PET tape since, because this has its distinct color style, and this is not perfect, but I think we can finally use this PET tape, because yeah, I've been dying to do so since I have discovered this tape. I'm looking for my tweezers. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's write in here Rachel's TBR. These are so small. I was surprised that these were that small. Later I have realized there is a bigger version of this PET tape. I'll have to check it out again, because yeah, I would love to get another one. I need something yellow in there. No. Okay, then this one. Now let's try yellow. Rachel. I was going to write Rachel's TBR, but there are no apostrophes in here. At least I have not seen them. So maybe I will just do Rachel. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let's add her book covers in here. And this, I have literally just opened the Goober Readathon announcement video. I took a screenshot of this and I deleted the background in Canva. So that's why these book covers are not printed like in one line, because the graphic had them in this formation of 5. So yeah, that's why this is weird, and that's why I have to do a bit more cutting, but it's okay. I don't really mind that. I don't know what I will do with this section of the page. Well, I have not put points anywhere. I could do something like this, and down here there would be place for the information about points, because yes, you are trying to get as many points as you can, and at the end of the month you count all of them and you reach a certain status or something. But also when you join next year, there are some perks that come with each of these. That's why I want to note in here which tier I achieve, just so next year I can just open this journal, see which tier I achieved, and then figure out if I have reached any of the perks. I am not making any sense, guys. Not at all. Also, yes, I wanted to include this on the page, but I have printed it in this weird format and I don't really want to print this again. I might just cut out this section. First I want to finish this and then I will see how much space I have left. Okay, next is Monica. Okay, and the last one is Jess. So let's add this in. Let's move these a bit to the left. I was playing with an idea of adding washi tape in here just to match this title. This looks lovely. Now let's see that green washi tape. I have these two. Maybe I could have this one in there, but this is a bit more fun. Also too white, so I'm going to add this washi tape on the side. That's actually pretty lovely. And now let's see about those points. Okay, I'm going to try and cut this off and see if I can make this work, or if I will write it all down by hand. I kind of like it here, and in here I will have a space to write down which tier I have achieved, but this is then kind of weird. Oh, I've also found some of these ghosties I've printed. These are all from Canva. I have just printed them out. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, so we will have ghosty like this. Oh, that's adorable. Yes, yes. One could be in here. This is also cute. Or maybe in there. I kind of like that there is a bit more space, so it does not look that tight around the ghost. This one is also adorable. I don't know, I maybe could... Yeah, I was not really planning on doing that, but maybe I could do that and cover the Monica's profile picture. I'm sorry, Monica, I was planning on leaving you there, but come on. I had to put a ghosty in there since it is fitting in perfectly. You know what? I will do a line in here, just so it is kind of continuing this line. And I will spell out tiers in there. Yeah, I was going to do points, but that does not make sense. I think tiers makes a bit more sense. So let's do that. Perfect. Okay, this is just so perfect. I'm not sure about this ghosty. I will just leave it on the page. And I have cut out the chef's hat that was on this graphic, and I decided to maybe put it in there. We have ghosty in here, and I should find something that could fit in there. That way this space won't be that awkward. I don't know, I just don't like how this is so blank, so that's why I am adding those in there. Yes, I have this awkward space in there as well, but as I said, this will be for me to write down which of these tiers I have achieved at the end of the month. And that's it for my May reading journal update. I am so happy with how this whole spread turned out. And I'm happy that I actually remembered to not put too much stuff on this side of the spread. Also, this is making me extremely happy for some reason. I don't know why. It is just making me happy. Okay, I have just noticed I have a lot of page sticking out in here. So let's cut that out quickly. Okay. And this is my Goober Readathon spreadsheet. As I said, at the end of the month, I will highlight all the prompts I managed to finish and I will count all my points. And that's it. I am not pressuring myself to read as much as possible. I'm just having fun with this challenge, and honestly, I am curious to see if I will manage to reach at least a level 2. Because, like, who would not want to be haunted home cook? Like, I love that so much. Anyway, this is not the end of this video yet, because there is one more journal I need to update right now. And that is my Magical Readathon journal, because in April there was Magical Readathon happening and I took part, and I was planning on updating this journal in my April reading wrap-up, but honestly there was so much going on in that video that I really did not have any time nor patience to work on these pages as well. But you know what, this is not even that much that I need to update in here. So let's find, yes, this is Spring Equinox and these are all the prompts for April. Let's now go through these prompts and see how many I did actually finish. These are the book covers of books I was planning on reading, and I did manage to read all of them, which I am so happy about, but there are still more books I need to add in here. Okay, anyway, let's start. My first subject was spells and incantations, and I needed to read a book that was currently on a bestseller list. And no one is going to be surprised that Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir was on almost all of the lists I looked at, because the movie just came out and people were excited about this book once again. So that's why I decided to reread this book. I have read that 3 years ago. I did not really want it to reread it so soon, but you know what? I had a great time. Okay, so let's mark this as read. Next we have Alchemy, and for Alchemy I needed to reread a book. So I am once again going to add Project Hail Mary in here. And technically you should not double up your books while reading for these prompts, but I decided to use one of the scrolls. Let me find that. I have so many points, guys. Let me find the one I have used. Okay, here it is, the Scroll of Scholarly Power. Embrace your multitasking capabilities and scrap the one book per prompt rule. So that costs 35 Guild Emporium points, and you know what, I'm fine with that because I have like 700 points or something, which is a lot. Okay, let me see. This is my booklet where I write down all the points I earn. And this is from last year. Last year I have had 653 points. And this was at the end of Spring Equinox, I guess. And I have not counted my points for Autumn Equinox. Also, this Spring Equinox is not written in here. So I have so many points. I can use lots and lots and lots of scrolls. So 35 points is nothing. And if you are looking at this and have no idea what I am talking about, I will leave a link to the Magical Readathon down in the description as well, because it is lots of fun and it makes me read books that I would probably not usually read, just as this one, On Sundays She Picked Flowers. I would have never read this book. Anyway, let's continue, because I am in kind of a weird mood today and I have no idea what I'm doing. Artificery. We needed to roll a d6 for series. So if we roll 1, we read first book in the series. If we roll 6, we read sixth book in the series. And that is so mean. But I have rolled 2, so I have read the sequel to Matched, and that is Crossed. And I was having a really good time with that. Before I forget, let's write Scroll of Scholarly Power in here, just so I know which one I have used. Inscription, there is Day of the Week in the title, and that's where the On Sundays She Picked Flowers comes in. And the last one is Restoration, and that is ask for 5 5-star titles and pick one. For that, I have read Don't Let the Forest In. I have not asked for the 5 books myself, because there were so many lists already in the Magical Readathon Discord, so I just looked through all the lists that were there and picked books that I was interested in reading. I have had like 10 that I have chosen from all of these lists, and then I somehow chose Don't Let the Forest In, and I'm so excited that I did, because this has become my favorite book of the month, as well as the Project Hail Mary, but that was a reread, so I knew I would like that one already, but this was a very pleasant surprise. So that's not everything what I have read in April. We need to add one more page in here, and I have this graphic in here to add. So this says extra classes. In here I will simply add book covers for all the remaining books I have finished. And yes, I have just cut this in two, because what I have printed is always slightly longer than this notebook is. I discovered I can do that and it's fine. You can see the cut line, but I don't really mind that. I'm kind of bummed that this got printed in this kind of weird grayish color, but I'm not going to reprint that. So I'm working with what I have, and this color payout is probably because of my sticker paper. It's really not a high quality, and I have a problem finding a good one for affordable price. So I'm just sticking with this one because I have it already, so it needs to be used. Yeah, sometimes the colors are really weird, especially reds. Those turn out extremely weird, but at this point I'm okay with that. I am trimming this page, as I have done on almost every single page so far. This one I have not torn off. I don't know why. I will maybe do that someday, but today I really do not feel like figuring that out. A bit of brown on the edges. Perfect. And now let's add all the extra classes in here. The first one is Question 7 by Richard Flanagan. Next one is Terry Pratchett, BBC Radio Drama Collection. Okay, this works so well with all these colors. And I'm not going to talk about any of these books today, because I have made a full video about all of them last week. So if you are curious to hear my thoughts about any of those, there is a link to that video as well down in the description. Okay, and the last one. Okay, that's crazy, guys. I still can't believe I have finished 9 books in April. And I think this is my first time ever using this extra classes sheet for Spring Equinox. I don't think I have ever read more books than I was supposed to. Okay, and that's it for this video. I really hope it was interesting. Let me know if you have taken part in the Magical Readathon, or if you are taking part in the Goober Readathon. I am really curious to hear from you. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching. Have absolutely a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.